Time now for Weather Watch with meteorologist Matt Makens.
Matt Makens here, keeping an eye on the weather and climate in this situation. I'll have your end of June into July weather outlook as far as moisture is concerned. Right behind me, that's where drought has improved or gotten worse throughout the month of May. And we chatted a lot about the drought situation on that last C2C. I showed you the hay impact and corn impact areas in terms of drought. In this one, let's focus on where we saw notable improvement in the drought. Eastern Colorado, especially the southeast. Southern Texas was rather wet during the month of May into early June, and that saw a notable improvement in the drought conditions. However, far western U.S., northern high plains, the Midwest, and out across the east, that's where we saw the drought getting worse, and we may see that continue going forward. So again, we're going to continue to watch that. Now, speaking of going forward, this is the June weather outlook. I took May, looked at the most recent and most similar years to what we saw precip-wise in May. And let's carry that forward for June and July. Call that an analog forecast or similar weather pattern forecast to years we've already recorded. So if we look June, take this weather pattern forward, we're still going to be looking at wetter weather, and the greens and the blues here for the central and southern plains. The Gulf Coast states rather wet, perhaps too wet in some cases. You look at the northern high plains, sections of the Midwest and Corn Belt out to the Pacific Northwest, and sadly, the outlook for June, as history does repeat itself, will be drier than average. Let's go forward. Let's go into July now. We start to see that weather pattern shifting. Drier conditions, remaining dry for the northern high plains, becoming drier in the central and southern plains, perhaps some hit and miss moisture for parts of the Corn Belt and the upper Midwest. And then watch this area here, desert Southwest. In the three most recent and most similar years on record, we did see an uptick in moisture, much needed for this year, especially with the drought, but for the Four Corners region. And that's the monsoon, the increase in humidity that brings in that moisture for the desert Southwest. Now, July may be promising in this regard, but if we go out into August and September, I think the western U.S. stays rather dry. I'm actually working through all that data now, discussing the monsoon, discussing the moisture outlook for the rest of summer into early fall. I'm putting that all together for you. I'll be writing that in the July edition of National Cattlemen newspaper. Between now and the next C2C, I'll continue to update you on the summer temperature outlook, which will be a scorcher out to the west. More on that next time.